Hey, what's good? Welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about my classes today here at Harvard. And today I had one class and some meetings for work, and then I went to an event that I'll talk to you guys a little bit later about. So today's class, I'm taking a class called Impact by Design, and that's taught by David Doctorman, aka Doc. And in Doc's class, we were able to essentially learn more about learning design. And the lesson today focused on how to create a prototype for the impact that we wanted to create. And the lecture, we ended up essentially all being given post-its, and we were able to write how we might ... bring about that impact, bring about that change.
Prototype build. And as Rose said, new ideas can be added between now and Thursday. If you want to keep some sticky notes with you in the shower, I'm not sure how well they work.
I have thought about the idea of plastic sticky notes.
Oh, how to set up, Siri was telling me how to use stickies in the shower.
And we have to focus on the user for this design, and focus on the two types of extremes for the user, the ones that you were not thinking about initially designing for. And so the room was filled with students. We broke up into our own spaces. I decided to get a spot near the window, write down my ideas, put those posters up on the window, and then just continue to ideate and figure out how do I bring about impact and change. For me, I'm really interested in helping teaching the next generation filmmaking. So I was focusing on the different ways that I can bring about that impact and how to help with diversifying the film industry.
Yeah. So they will be even more fun.
Right? You didn't think it. You didn't.
So these are all ideas for feature film training that I am trying to create for this class. This class is called Impact by Design, and I'm trying to design some impact. And the impact I want to design is how might we train diverse filmmakers to be studio film directors. So taking someone who has made some films, but they want to get into directing for the big studios, the Warner Brothers, the Paramounts, all these different studios, and help them get to the next step. And I've been blessed to direct 2 feature films for a studio, and now I want to help train the next generation to do the same. And after the class, I had a meeting with my boss, and that was great. And I also had my independent study today. And Karen, who's the lead professor that I am doing my independent study with, we talked about the script that I'm writing, and I am excited and on fire to also get ready to use that same post-it strategy to help me ideate more ideas for my feature script that I'm working on here at Harvard. And following that, after those 2 classes and the meeting with work, I had to take a nap because I was getting a little exhausted. But after my nap, I made sure I got up nice and early because I wanted to go to this event that was focusing on the movie Passing. Now, in 2019, I had the pleasure of shadowing on the production of the movie Passing, directed by Rebecca Hall, and my mentee Nina Yang Bon Jovi, she produced the film, and I had the pleasure of shadowing her as a producer's mentee on this project. And so to go to tonight's event that focused on the concept of passing and that talked about the movie Passing. And tonight's panel, it included Henry Louis Gates Jr., Evelyn Hammonds, and Adriana Taylor. And they did a phenomenal job talking about the movie Passing, and sharing their thoughts on the idea of passing and how portraying a different race is something that has been going on throughout decades, and people do it essentially for social mobility, and others have other reasons.
Because the concept of race is a complete social construction, and we're trying to fit Latinos and other people into these categories that are just not real.
But I have found that blackness is a negative, even in the Latino world in South America.
Of course.
You know, I did a documentary called Black in Latin America. I met my wife, I interviewed my wife, she's Cuban, right? She's a white Cuban. And genetically 99%, 1% black. But her mitochondrial DNA, it goes back to Africa. So she's descended from a conquistador, impregnated an African woman who was enslaved, like many Latinos are.
People are passing for other races, and the effects of passing, and essentially the breakdown of the racial construct, and how none of this is even factual, this idea of race or anything like that. So it's really just a box we're told to check. However, there are very real implications of race and how society deems one a particular race and someone else a different race, even some of which in the same family, depending on skin tone at a certain time period. So I'm really glad I had a chance to go to this event tonight, focusing on the movie Passing, and just once again very grateful to be studying here at Harvard and learning inside and outside of the classroom. All right, so please stay tuned for more to come. I will share more about my experiences on a regular. Thanks, guys. Peace.